Okay.
Okay. Hello, my name is Melissa, and I'm Jonathan's wife. And today I'm making him a challah bread, which is a sort of traditional Jewish bread. It's sort of like brioche would be another name for it.
En français.
Yeah, en français. It's slightly sweet, and it's braided. So anyway, first I'm going to start with, I'm going to mix the dry ingredients in this bowl. And so basically it's very simple. We've got bread flour, salt, and yeast. We're going to put up the recipe for those of you who want to try it. That's the dry ingredients. And the wet ingredients that go into this is honey, which makes it sweet, some vegetable oil, eggs, which gives it that slightly yellow color, and hot water to help activate the yeast. So I'm going to mix those two first. We're going to take a break. I'm going to put those in the bowls and we will be right back.
Okay.
Okay, so after our little commercial break, so I've got the dry ingredients, which is the yeast, the flour, and the salt, all mixed into this nice big bowl. You just take a spoon, make sure it's all nicely blended. This is my mixture of 6 tablespoons of oil, which you do first, and then 6 tablespoons using the same tablespoon, because it'll be nice and oily. And you do honey, and then the honey just slides off that tablespoon if you've done the oil first. And then there's 2 full eggs and then 1 egg yolk. They're supposed to be at room temperature, and I often forget. So what I do is I just take the eggs and I stick them under my armpits, walk around preparing it. It's like a mother hen. I'm just warming them up. This one I save because this we're gonna glaze. Once it's all ready to go into the oven, we use 1 egg to glaze it. Now, I haven't yet added my warm water. Just test it with my finger. Yes, it's fine. So not too hot, but definitely warm. It's going to activate. So this is, I've just left this to the end, and I just pour that into the wet ingredients before I'm blending. Make sure it's all in there. All blended. Okay. So now these are going to get combined. Whoosh, there we go.
That's how it works.
That's how it works, baby. So you can start off just by stirring it, and then you're going to turn it out onto. Now you make sure your board. This is a non-porous material. This counter, so I can just knead it right on the counter, which is great. So you make sure your surface is nice and clean, and your hands are nice and washed. And
Jewelry.
Taken off all your jewelry, otherwise it all gets stuck in your rings. Okay, so it's ready to be turned out here. Let me get this off of here. Okay, so now you're just going to turn that out onto your surface. There you go.
Doesn't look like bread.
It doesn't look like bread yet. It all takes a while. And then you start to knead it. So it's got a fair bit of flour, but I always keep a little on hand in case I have to add more flour, and also maybe keep a little bit of water on hand, because sometimes you have to add a bit of moisture if it gets too dry, and you can't, it doesn't hold the knead. So just begin by kneading. Nice and warm from that warm water that's in it, which is going to activate the yeast. And kneading, I think it's supposed to be giving it the structure of the bread inside. So that's what makes it, like Jonathan's always saying, it has to tear well.
Yes, you have to tear it.
Jonathan, that's the key to a good tear, is enough kneading.
It comes right together.
It comes right together. Starting not to stick. Well, it's doing actually okay. If it starts really sticking to your board, then you want to put a bit more flour down. I've got enough, I think, here. And the recipe actually calls for 3/4 of a cup of water, but I find this recipe actually works better with 1 full cup of warm water. 3/4 was not enough. I was always adding a ton more, so I just adjusted the recipe. Give it some good structure there. Am I doing anything wrong, Jonathan? Any
No, that looks
tips?
right. Yeah, you're doing right. You're doing a good job. I don't want to step in and correct you.
All right. It's not too riveting at this stage. The fun part of this is the braiding part. That's when it gets kind of...
That's a ways down the line.
So this is now, I think this is ready now. So what I'm going to do, it's a nice, yeah, that's good.
Give it a good
I'm
smack.
going to take a clean bowl. So I just use the one that has the wet ingredients. Let that a little dry. And maybe even just a little bit of oil, not much, just to keep it from getting stuck to the bottom of the bowl. Just a drop. There we go. Just move that around my hands. There we go, so it doesn't stick. So I put this in here, and then I'm going to cover it with a plastic bag, and then it goes into the warmest place in your house for 2.5 hours for it to do the first rising. So that's what it looks like, and then just I'll get a plastic bag put over it in 2.5 hours. So I'll see you in 2.5 hours.
All right.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys.
Yeah, we're live.
Okay, we're back.
We're back.
2.5 hours later. I just pulled the dough from the warm spot it was in, and now if you look at it, it's all nice and puffy. So I'm not going to actually flour this board. What I found is that for what comes next, it's actually good if it's a little bit tacky and not too smooth. Just turn it out on your board, and then you're going to take your dough scraper and you're going to cut it in 4 sections. So just straight down the middle. This is, a lot of dough scrapers are metal. This is just a bamboo one, but it seems to work fine. And then again across, so you got 4 even, or as even as you can get them. Yeah, looks good.
That's good. Yeah, you're doing well.
Thank you, love. So positive. All right, so then you've got your nice 4 sections, and what you're going to do is you're going to roll them into ropes. And like I say, I used to put flour on the board, but actually I find having a little friction makes the rolling easy. If it's too floured, it just slides around and it's actually harder to roll. Jonathan and I experimented with that, and I figured it out eventually. Okay, so maybe cut, and then we'll come back when I've got all 4 rolled out.
All right.
I mean, the main thing is to try to get it as even as you can.
Yeah.
So you don't
thin
get big
spots.
lumps.
Yeah.
And you're going for about 22 inches
Yeah, I
long,
think so, yeah.
basically. So we'll be back when we've got all 4 all nicely
All right.
rolled out. Okay.
Action cut.
Jonathan, you got a nice shot of these
Yes, for
4 rolled out ropes. They're approximately the same length. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do the braiding. So Jonathan's focused on the braid.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
yes, yes.
so instead of starting from the top and going down, what I found is actually to start at the middle and go down, and then for me to switch sides, it ends up a bit more even. So what you're going to start around here, and what you're going to do is you're going to take the right hand rope and you're going to go over and under and over and under until you get to the last rope. So it's over the second one, under the third one, over the 4th one. And that's what that looks like. I could probably squeeze these a little closer. Okay, so then the next is the same. Over, and then under, and then over. Until there's no more ropes. Again, left hand side, sorry, right hand side, over, under, over. I'm kind of running out, but then take this last bit, over, under, over. And then basically you get to this point, you're just going to kind of tuck them in.
Tuck his bum in.
Tuck the bum in. Okay, now you switch sides.
All right,
Jonathan,
we'll switch
wanna
sides.
reverse. Okay, so now you're at the middle, and you're going to do the same thing. Starting with the right hand side, you're braiding over, and then under, and then over. Again, right hand side, over, then under, and over. Right till you get to the end, over, under, over. You start running out of rope. There's one more piece. I'll do as much as I can of it. Maybe it'll just get over one, and then tuck. Just to clean up that edge. And so that's what you're basically,
There's your bread.
there's your, and now I'm gonna move it onto, this is a non-stick cookie pan, so I don't actually have to grease this one. Probably if you had a regular cooking pan, you might have to grease it. So I just hold on to the edge to keep them tucked in, and I lift it, and I place it. And sometimes, you know, when you're starting, I mean, I used to get big ones with big bottoms, and I mean, they all come out slightly different. They're getting a bit more even as I get
Better.
more practiced at it. So
Good.
this guy is ready. He is gonna go and he will be put in the warm spot in the house with this plastic cover on him for 2 hours.
Oh.
And so I'll put the timer on for 2, and then he'll be ready to glaze and put in the oven.
Okay. We'll
Thanks,
see you then.
guys. See you then.
All right, we're
Hot?
rolling. We're hot.
Okay, so welcome back. So I've just pulled the challah out of its warm space for 2 hours. It was sitting there, and now what I've taken the final egg, beat it, and now what I'm going to do is basically glaze the challah with this egg, and you want to make sure you get it in all the nooks and crannies. Better to be too generous than stingy, because the thing is it puffs up. It rises more during baking, so you don't want to kind of unglazed bits in the middle. I mean, it happens anyway, but so you just slather it on. And that makes it this beautiful golden brown.
It does, doesn't it?
It does. The first challah we made,
They don't have to know that.
well, the first challah we made when the COVID happened, we couldn't buy it at our store anymore. The yeast was old. We didn't realize it, that it hadn't been stored properly. The date was right, but so it looked beautiful. We made this beautiful challah. It was huge, but it didn't rise properly, and you know, I went even to this stage. We got it all baked and glazed. It looked like a work of art, and it was solid as a rock. Because
I guess that's
the yeast didn't. The yeast.
yeast.
Was,
You're
yeah.
supposed to test the yeast, right?
You're supposed to test the yeast, and that was my first challah I ever made. So I foolishly did not test that yeast, but it had the right date. Like it was within its expiry date, but I guess it hadn't been refrigerated the whole time, which it should be if it's dry active yeast, which is what we're using. I guess there's instant yeast and dry active. I actually can't now remember what the difference is, but so just getting sure. It sounds like that little beep was that the oven is set at, you preheated the oven at 350. So that beep means that it's ready to go. And you're gonna put it into the oven for 25 minutes. That's how long it takes. I have a convection bake feature on our oven, so it might just make the heat a bit more even. So baking time will kind of depend on your oven, but you just watch it and, you know, make sure it doesn't go black or anything, and you know you've overdone it. Okay, I think that's pretty much good. Let's fill in any spaces. Great. Okay, we'll see you in 25 minutes when she comes out.
All right. See you later.
All right.
We're hot. We're really hot.
Okay,
Ooh.
so
Bet this doesn't have a smell.
it smells good.
Smells good.
That's the point.
And there she is.
Okay, so I don't usually do this anymore, but when I first started, the recipe actually says the challah is ready at a certain temperature. So I used to take the temperature, so I'll do that now, and it's supposed to be at 190 to 200, which
It's good.
it is. So that's fine.
We'll take your word for it.
I'll take my word for it. I think I've taken it out at 180. It's all fine. So here it is. This is that egg gives it the lovely color brown. So I'm going to move it off its thing and let it cool in the cooling rack. And then we will
Test it.
Yeah, then we're going to test it. Just make sure it's not stuck. You can see it's quite large. So you just gently, because it can break. It's got all those braids in it. So it can break in half or break off easily. So you have to make sure you move the whole thing. Am I getting too bossy?
You're getting too bossy.
I've almost broken my challah. It could be tragic. Okay, so
Okay.
we'll be back
When we break it open.
cut it open.
Break bread, sort of thing.
Beautiful
Okay.
though. Look how
Yeah, it's
did
gorgeous.
you get a good shot of it?
I got a great shot of it.
Oh,
Yes,
look.
there she is.
Shiny,
She's
that's
lovely.
the egg. It's
That's a
that
little baby. Yes.
Oh, there you go.
There we go.
Not perfect.
And there's Daisy. She
And
doesn't
there's
seem too
Daisy.
concerned.
She likes
All right, here we are,
Okay, here we are.
and
The challah is slightly cool. Jonathan's getting impatient to
impatient.
have a slice, so it's not as cool as I would normally. We usually, we do thirds. So, but anyway, here we go.
remember the tearing.
And it's all about the tearing for Jonathan. So there's your,
Yeah, nice and golden.
yeah, nice and golden.
Of course, nothing like.
Hold on, take this one. And what you really want is you like it hot with some butter on it. And it's good when it's cooled down, but there's nothing like a warm challah that's got butter. So this is Jonathan's favorite part.
Oh yeah.
All right, give me you go and I'll switch over here.
All right. All right.
There you go. There he is.
You got
Happy boy.
me? Here we go. So
Oh, that's a good looking challah.
it's a good test. So it should tear away. That.
It passed.
Mmm.
Did I do okay?
Mmm.
I did good, eh?
Did good.
Yay.
Mmm. Here you go. Here you can have
There's
it.
Jonathan looking happy. And that's how you make a challah. And we will post the recipe. Jonathan will figure out how to do that. And it's been lovely.
Be lucky if I can post this video.
Okay, well, it's been fun. Bye.
Bye.